Okay, on sheet 8, we've got an item ID lookup number here, 1001, that we're supposed to write a function that will scan through here and find that item. What was that number? 1011. This 1011, and return the price. And if somebody types in a number that's not in the list, it's supposed to say item ID not found. So we're going to start out just by writing the function to find that. Now we could use an index and match like we did on sheet 6, but because the item ID are in the far left column, there's a function that works a little quicker than the index and match. Index and match will work, but the VLOOKUP will be quicker. As opposed to over here on sheet 4, we couldn't have used a VLOOKUP because we were looking for something in the middle of this data range, not at the leftmost column. So we're going to use the VLOOKUP, and our lookup value is here in this box in B1, and our table array, and just like an index and match, we just highlight the data, not the headings. Okay, so we highlight all of that data, which is named item list. Okay, so if you highlight a named range like item list, it's going to replace that A5 colon whatever the name of that range is with the name of the range, and then call index num 1, 2, 3. So we want to return information from column 3, and then our final argument is important. You need to use false here because we want it to be an exact match, not a range. Now, I often have students ask when you would use true, like with a range, and I use the VLOOKUP function often when I'm assigning letter grades to your numeric grades in Excel, and so I can use a VLOOKUP function and assign it a letter grade. So the range 90 to 100 or 900 points to 1,000 points is an A. So it will find 982 or 921, either one, and assign them an A. So we got this to work. 1001 is $12. We can change this to 1001 and see that that's $15. But if we were to change this to something like 1, which is not in the list, we get this error. And this error doesn't tell us much. So since we might be building this for a novice user that doesn't understand the Excel errors, we want to embed this function in an IFERROR function. So the IFERROR function just takes a function like our VLOOKUP. So I pasted that back in there. I cut it and I pasted it so I didn't have to rewrite it. And then if Excel generates an error, instead of it putting the Excel error on there, we can have it put whatever we want to. And in this case, we want to put item ID not found. And so when we type something like 1, we get that error that we want there, not just the Excel generated one.